So today I'm going to go over the results of testing tier 10 purges on code exiles. Most people build up like this: huge base, parapets, fortifications, and this stuff actually isn't required, and I'll show you how. So like everybody else, I have a huge base. I have this channel for the thralls to go through, archers on the side, big gates, and then a gaggle of thralls sitting in the courtyard. With the new implementation, you don't have to have the separation for the thralls. You actually can stack them right next to each other. And then when you look in the back here, you see the thralls kind of like spread out. And then you have this 2-channel treasure room, all the treasure that's inside. And actually this creates an impediment because the Purge can't recognize that they can get to this, and so they end up canceling the Purge. So I built something different. So over here I have a condensed base. This is sitting in an open area because where I was built before, the Purge didn't have a place to build their base. So I kind of built out in the middle of nowhere here. I put thralls on each side. I have 35 thralls down here at the bottom. Having a following thrall actually makes it kind of complicated. You're basically going to kill that thing. Very simple base. You're talking 7-8 foundations by 7-8 foundations. And the interesting thing is 100,000 gold is not really hard to get. So as I did the Purge, the first initial ones I'm lobbing these orbs, alternating demon fire and gas, trubbing this thing. You're kind of spending resources you don't really need to. I actually came up with a different process later, but as you can kind of see, the base is set up. They're bringing these thralls in basically in a straight line. It makes it kind of easy. Then the thralls are coming out from the bottom, the archers are shooting at the top, but as you can see, it's kind of an effective setup for coverage. So in light of the Funcom debacle where thralls were being deleted, I decided to go with the very minimal. See what was the bare minimum you can do at tier 10 Purge. So as you can see here, I've reduced this down to 7 foundations by 6 foundations. I'm going to have 20 thralls on the ground and 12 archers. So I'm speeding this up 300% just to kind of show you how the stuff is going. It's a very simple layout. I wanted to make sure that I had pillars on the outside. Structural support will go on the inside so you can support the trebuchet. That door allows me to crawl up and then go out, and then on the top we'll put the trebuchet. And then you have the availability to move them around. And one of the interesting additions is the archer posts. This allows you to put an archer to sit specifically at this point. They're not going to like be going back and forth and stuff like that. Now, to put a thrall there, they actually have to have a bow in their inventory. You just can't put a fighter up there without a bow. So this is the finished base. And then we're going to start a Purge here in a moment. As you can see, 12 archers on the corners, 5 fighter thralls on each corner, and then the trebuchet on the top. Alright, now it's time to proclaim our wealth and go ahead and get this thing started. Once it begins, I will go ahead and speed it up, and then I'll show you some of the things that I did. So I actually changed it up for this one. I stopped using the orbs and I started making arrows. So with one gas orb, you can throw it one time. But if you use the arrows, you can turn one gas orb into 2 arrows. Spreading out the orbs, or the arrows rather. And I'm hitting them as they're coming out, making them run through it all the way to the base, reducing their health by the time they get to me. And if you can see into the base, you can actually hit it right where they're spawning in and start hitting them as they're spawning. This particular purge took me, I think, like 10 minutes to actually finish. So when you're talking bare minimums, I think 12 archers is attainable, and I think that level 20 thralls are attainable. The gear that they have are basically the SIP special. They're using wolf helm, dragon bone, chest, and they're also using frost giant boots, and the tacit. And then there's the commander. Easy peasy, wrap this one up nice and quick. So we want to talk bare minimums. One of the things that I did was I went to the cave over in the Grave One areas, and I ended up building like this base. This is 15 level 20 thralls on the ground, and a total of 9 archers. They're in the ranger outfits, they've got void forged bows. This is stuff that everybody can get. So I'm speeding this up 300%, just to kind of like rush through it. This purge took about 11 minutes. Still in the same process of utilizing the gas arrows. They changed the name from poison arrows to noxious gas arrows. It'll still be part of the ammunition 2 feet. One of the things I'm going to do probably later is move the thralls back. I don't like the fact that they rush out the door quite a bit. I did 4 or 5 purges, and I think I lost 1 thrall the entire time. He got baited outside, ended up just dying because they kind of group up as they're coming through the door. So if you set up a couple of points to shoot at with the gas arrows, also making sure you don't hit yourself, it kind of helps take down the health before the thralls get to them. And if you shoot the gas arrow to the point where you don't look where it's at, just shoot a explosive arrow and that'll clear out the gas. So I really like these escaped prisoner guys. They die so freaking easy. If you can actually shoot one of the arrows at the point where they spawn in, you can pretty much kill them before they even get out of the cage. But 2 will generally do it. So as you can see, you don't have to have a mega base. You don't have to have a bajillion thralls. 15 thralls on the ground, 9 archers, you with some arrows. You're pretty much going to be able to win any 10 level purge.